Welcome everyone to my fireside chat without the fire with Cam 9501, talking about Spurs' victory against Norwich today. Whilst you warm yourself in these cold winter climes, I'm sitting here in sunny Florida still in my short sleeves. But welcome. What we're going to do today is I'm going to basically spend about a few minutes talking about how we did today, what the takeaways were. I'm going to basically just stick to a few minutes and 5 key points for me. My key points really starting off is, well, before I do start, let me just say, very happy with the win. Obviously, this is 4 games now in the Premier League for Conte and 3 wins, excuse me, 1 draw. Not bad going. For me, the most important thing was the 3 goals, not just the win, because I always expected us to win against Norwich, who obviously only got 10 points and won 2 games now under their new manager Dean Smith, and we're on a run of 2 games won, 2 games drawn. So they were expecting maybe to take something away from us, but I was expecting a win. For me, what was important was the goals that we scored and the goals that we didn't score, which we'll talk about. It's taken us up to 5th, 25 points. We've gone up above the Gooners, but we have a goal difference of -1, and incredible that we can be so high with such a poor goal difference, and it probably goes to show where we had started from so poorly in the past, that we've had to make up ground under Conte, but we're making up that ground, and I think that we're starting to come good. So let's get in then. 3-0, 3 cracking goals. The first one, obviously, there's not much I can say about it, apart from the fact that the interplay between Moura and Son, and then he still had to beat a number of players in Lucas Moura to get enough space to hit that cracker. Obviously, his first goal since February. You want to know, really, as a Spurs fan, why is it not possible that we have had such few goals from Moura? Why not more? And we need more, and I think Conte had said so as well. So it's that freedom in which he played today, which I thought was fantastic for Tottenham, for every Tottenham fan. He didn't seem like he was being held back. It didn't seem like he was being constrained, but was actually given the freedom to run, to take on players, and to show us what he's got. And today we did see that, and we saw that from Son as well, which I will talk a bit more about later. Obviously, we cannot go on without talking about Davinson Sanchez. I mean, he didn't put a foot wrong today. If that was the same Sanchez that played against Moura, I'm really surprised. I mean, how a player can be so poor and then so good is incredible. He seemed to be everywhere. He was never second to the ball. He never got on the wrong side of the attackers. So his defensive play was pretty good. His distribution was good, but being in the box in the right place at the right time, it's about time we started getting some luck. That was luck, but he lashed that ball into the back of the net. I thought it was going to break the net. Great to see Tottenham starting to get goals from corners, from set plays. Never used to happen, but it's happening more and more under Conte, and I think that's an improvement that we definitely needed to see. Very happy with that. Son's goal, I mean, what can I say? Son's goal was superb, it was sublime, and it was beautifully taken and struck again. I mean, the way that such quick feet reminded me of Mohamed Salah at his best, when he takes on players in the box, very, very close control of the ball, very dancing around, makes half a yard of space, maybe even less, and whacks it straight through between the goalkeeper and another player on the line. I mean, that was some sensational technical skills there, and we need to see a lot more. So that's my first takeaway, just to talk about the goals and the way that we structured them. Now I'm going to have a quick talk about the non-goals, the goals we didn't score. Wow, there were so many. Could that game have been 6, 7, 8-0? I probably think it could. Harry Kane one-on-one with the goalkeeper, hit it wide. Harry Kane had 2 good strikes on goal. One was very good, low down to the right of the keeper, and to be fair, he pulled off a good save. In the old days, Harry would have had that right bouncing off the post and into the back of the net, but I feel he's getting closer and closer. Kane, to me, looked like he could have had a hat-trick. Excuse me. Doherty skied one over. So many players in the box that we had chances to take today. And I think that we're now beginning to create the kind of chances we want to see. So what I wanted to say about no goals was really my take on the Harry Kane situation. I think Kane played pretty well today. I think that he was everywhere. I think his confidence grew as the game went on. I think that he may not have scored, but he was there and about. He had a number of shots on target, and it's only a matter of time when it comes good. And it will come good, because I feel like he's a different player. He is dropping off. We are creating chances. This Spurs team is creating chances. So I think that will work, and let's hope we can get more and more goals to go. And I'm going to move on to my second point. I'm going to make 5 points today. 5 points. Made my first one about the goals and the non-goals. Number 2 is going to be really about who I thought were the most improved players today in the game that we played. Number 1 for me, obviously, without a doubt, is Oliver Skip. He seemed to be everywhere. He seems to have pushed up a bit more, where he's playing a bit more advanced than he was playing before. And he's got a lot more freedom, especially with Hojbjerg sitting behind him and allowing him to run forward. But this is what I like about Skip and Hojbjerg, is the way that they allow with the 3 centre-backs, one centre-back to suddenly find themselves in the box, suddenly find themselves in the opposition's half, confuses the opposition, gets them out of shape, and provides us with that added impetus. And I think that is a fantastic to see. Never saw that before, but often you're going to see Davis and Sanchez in the box. At times you've seen Ben Davies almost being there trying to score goals, and how refreshing is that? How different is that? What a game to watch when you just can see the confusion on the face of the oppositions who don't know who to mark or where to go, because suddenly spaces open up. And I think that's what Skip and Hojbjerg give us. They give us that opportunity and that ability to get into that place. So for me, the best player on the field again today, as he was at the weekend, Oliver Skip. Vastly improved Mora today. His touch was sublime. He didn't lose the ball as much. But I think that all comes from the fact that behind him, Skip and Hojbjerg holding that ball, winning second balls, and pushing it forward. It's fantastic. Worst player today for me was by far Steven Bergwijn. Yes, he only had 10 minutes, but he did absolutely nothing. Even Doherty wasn't that bad. Doherty put in a couple of crosses, but he wasn't that bad, and I think that I just cannot see how he fits into this team, and I'll leave it at that. I don't want to say anymore. I want to go back to one of and I want to eat some humble pie here. I was very much against Sensational after what he did against Mora, but I thought when he came on today he was fantastic, and what I really liked was his hard and low crossing. He'd get to the byline, he'd take on players, and he could hit that ball really well across the goal, and that's something that defenders like to deal with. One of my problems with Reguilon was his ability to consistently put the ball in the box, and I think Sensational did it a lot better than Reguilon, for me, today at least. So I'm going to move on to my other point that I wanted to make, and that is going forward, what does this team need? I think right now we're coming up to very soon to the January break. I think we need a few players. I think we need an understudy to Harry Kane, and we need that urgently, very, very quickly. And I think that we need to sign a striker without a doubt. A creative midfielder. I like the way that we are playing, because I think that we're using the wing backs as creative midfielders. We're using one of Skip or Hojbjerg to fill in that role, and Kane does drop back and fill in that role. So yes, everyone says we must have a creative midfielder. I think that from the way that Conte set up his team, he can take it or leave it right now. I think if the right player comes along, we should take it. But just getting someone in with that title really is not going to be good enough. We need someone that's going to enhance the team. I think really the biggest thing going forward is who's going to leave. And I think that's where I want to just make a couple of comments. You probably all noticed Dele Alli had absolutely nothing to add. He wasn't really looked like he was ever going to get on, and Ndombele never looked like he was ever going to get on. Lo Celso has taken over Darren Anderton's role as Mr. Signo. He's never going to get on. So I think those three really is where things are going to have to change. I would like to add Bergwijn in there, but I think at least let's hope we can at least get rid of two of those players and use some of that money to reinvest, assuming someone's going to want to pay something for them. And that's my final point now. Conte's plan. What is Conte's plan for Tottenham? And where are we going? But he looks like he knows what he's doing. Every week I see an improvement. Every game I see an improvement. And every time I see we're getting better. You can say, and you should say, that we haven't really played any decent opposition yet under Conte. And when we come under pressure from some of the top four, some of the better teams, let's see what happens. And I think that we will be tested very much so against Brighton next week. Brighton at home, will be at home. They haven't been playing very well recently. They just managed to get a draw against Southampton yesterday. But I think it will be a trying game for Tottenham. But I do expect us to win, and I expect us to get better and better as Conte embeds in and gets more out of these players. That's all I have to say. I think it was a great game, great result, great for Tottenham. I'd like to hear your comments, like to hear your views. This is Cam from Spurs 9501. Please comment, subscribe, get involved, listen, say things. Don't like what I say? Fair enough. Do like what I say? Let me know. Thank you. And this is Come On You Spurs from sunny Florida.